Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the man suspected of killing Charlie Kirk could appear in court virtually as soon as later today. And the Trump administration is asking Congress to approve more funding to bolster security measures for executive and judicial branches of the government.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Caroline Mueller. It is 6 a.m. on this Tuesday, September 16th. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal for a look at your forecast this morning. It felt pretty nice when I walked out my door this morning. I mean, it's usually a little bit on the cooler side when it's still dark outside like it is, and so I didn't even really need a cardigan this morning.
Yeah, I think this is the first time this week I didn't even bring in my cardigan to work. Now I probably will regret that in a little bit when it gets colder in studio, but outside the door, not too bad of a start to your day. We're looking at temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. You'll notice as we're traveling to Monticello, even having chances for upper 60s this morning. So a little bit of a warm start to your day. This afternoon will be even warmer. We're looking at a mixture of the low to mid 80s. Normally this time of year we sit in the upper 70s, so definitely warmer weather than what you'd expect for this September 16th. Now, in terms of rain chances, we are seeing a little bit of some sprinkles across the region. Nothing crazy. This is basically what we're expecting throughout the day, is that sprinkle activity clearing out by the late evening. That forecast for you, partly cloudy skies for most of the day. You can consider it nice and dry. Other than that, very slight chance for some sprinkle activity. Caroline.
All right, Megan, thank you. One person is dead after a crash in Carroll County, Virginia. The crash happened just after 7 a.m. last Friday in the Elkhorn Road area. 52-year-old Deanna Simone was heading south when her SUV went off the road and hit a bridge railing. Simone died after she was taken to a hospital. Virginia State Police say she was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the crash. A construction worker was hit and killed in a work zone in Cabell County, West Virginia during the weekend. Police say Heath McHone was killed Saturday morning around 4 a.m. in the eastbound lanes of Interstate 64. They say McHone stepped into traffic and was hit by a bus. McHone was working for Triton Construction. The man suspected of killing Charlie Kirk could appear in court virtually as soon as later today, with prosecutors also expected to formally bring charges. It comes as we're also learning that the alleged shooter may have sent messages to friends which imply a confession, according to law enforcement and a spokesperson for the group chat platform Discord. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
With the suspect accused of killing conservative activist and social media influencer Charlie Kirk due to make his first court appearance, FBI Director Kash Patel is revealing some of the evidence against him.
His family has collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology.
On Fox News, Patel said DNA found on a screwdriver near the crime scene and a towel wrapped around the alleged murder weapon has been linked to the suspect.
He had a text message exchange, he the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk.
A spokesperson for Discord and two law enforcement sources confirmed to CBS News an account that appears to belong to the suspect claimed responsibility for the shooting, writing in part, "It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." The messages were first reported by the Washington Post. Discord has said it hasn't found any evidence that the suspect planned Kirk's assassination on the chat platform.
I owe so much to Charlie.
On Kirk's show, hosted by Vice President J.D. Vance Monday, White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller claimed that an organized campaign of terrorist networks led to Kirk's assassination.
We are going to use every resource we have at the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and throughout this government to identify, disrupt, dismantle, and destroy these networks, and we will do it in Charlie's name.
Miller did not provide evidence to back up his claims. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Today, FBI Director Kash Patel is set to testify on Capitol Hill, where he'll likely face more questions on his agency's handling of the investigation into Charlie Kirk's assassination. Floyd County Schools is addressing an employee's social media posts about political activist Charlie Kirk's death. The district did not name the employee or what they said, but Superintendent Tanya Horn-Williams says they brought, quote, significant and unwelcome scrutiny to the district. The district says it's following proper procedures to address the comments. The Trump administration is asking Congress to approve more funding to bolster security measures for executive and judicial branches of the government. That's according to Leadership Aid. The $58 million security request follows the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and it comes amid a surge in threats against public officials. The funding would also include additional security for Supreme Court justices and congressional lawmakers. Memphis may soon see federal boots on the ground after President Trump made official his plan to deploy a crime-fighting task force to the city. In the Oval Office Monday, President Trump formally approved a plan to send a federal task force to Memphis. FBI statistics show Memphis had the highest crime of all major U.S. cities last year, but Memphis police data shows there was a decrease in violent crime in the first 9 months of the year.
The task force will be a replica, as I said, and it's going to be, I think, equally successful. This is a tremendous success we've had in Washington.
The president also announced more tough action on drug trafficking, confirming a second strike similar to the recent U.S. military attack on a Venezuelan boat in the Caribbean. The U.S. and China reached a framework deal on short video app TikTok as part of broader talks on tariffs and economic policy. A deal would allow TikTok to keep operating in the United States, where it has faced being shut down as soon as Wednesday unless it moved to U.S. ownership. There could be a short extension of the September 17th deadline for TikTok to finalize the framework deal, according to U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer.
We had very good discussions. We preferred to keep the discussions on TikTok. We will be holding trade negotiations in about a month, again at a different location. But we talked about many things that we might do in the future.
President Trump posted about the deal on Truth Social, writing that an agreement had been reached over a company that young people in our country very much wanted saved. As he prepares to retire, Kentucky State Senator and chair of the Senate Transportation Committee, Jimmy Higdon, says he still has several goals left to accomplish. One of his biggest concerns is making driver's license services more accessible in eastern Kentucky. Right now, many people have to travel more than 40 miles to reach a regional office. Higdon says he wants to change that and bring some of those services back to the local level.
That's very important to us and your senators that represent Eastern Kentucky. So we're going to work on that. We're going to find a solution and try to get some of the testing for students back to the local level.
Higdon says he will spend his final months in office pushing for solutions. He retires at the end of his term in December of 2026.
We're still seeing a little bit of that sprinkled chance as you are heading out the door this morning. Again, not too much of rain is in that forecast today, but again, sprinkles could be expected, especially into those afternoon hours as that rain chance does kind of pick up a little bit, and that'll clear out by the evening. But in terms of temperatures, we're looking at a mostly dry day with mid 50s and low 60s in the morning hours, and then this afternoon looking at the low to mid 80s. So just a little bit warmer than you'd expect for this time of year, and we'll see those temperatures continue to warm up by the time we hit 4 p.m. That's when you can expect the hottest hours of the day, looking at a mixture of partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. Caroline.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Just ahead, the Department of Health and Human Services is tackling a growing vaping problem among middle and high school students.